Volcanoes and hot springs produce heat that can be used to produce electricity. However, now we can obtain that kind of heat almost anywhere on Earth just by digging deep enough. And the process of that drilling, that technology is called enhanced geothermal. We found that using enhanced geothermal could help transition 150 countries to clean renewable energy for all energy purposes at a cost 60% lower than using current fuels. Adding enhanced geothermal to that mix actually makes it easier in many locations in the world to get rid of fossil fuels and provide the world with 100% clean renewable energy for everything.